We're recording?
We are recording.
Okay. Oh, good.
We're back.
Well,
almost 9 p.m.
Yeah. Hot off our live show 2 nights ago. Thanks everyone who came out. Thanks to all the media types who were there.
We had a blast. I was very pleasantly surprised at how hot our audience at
very
the live
good
show
looking.
was. Very good looking,
Yeah.
which is a first for podcasters because their audiences are notoriously.
We might have the best looking
we do.
audience around.
Yeah.
Trolls.
Not you people on
podcast fans.
Reddit.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're all hideous.
Yeah, probably. Well, apparently there's like a little bit of a cross section. We're not supposed to reveal that we check the subreddit, but obviously
I don't know why we would pretend.
Yeah.
Like we
No,
aren't reading I'm not searching my own full name on Twitter.
Never. I've never done that. That's so embarrassing. I feel like that you could
You've
be like,
never done it?
Here's the 2 things that I've never done. I swear to God, I swear on my kids and my mom. The 2 things that I've never done is that I've never name searched myself on Twitter because that's just embarrassing. I can't in my
Anna Khachiyan is a crypto fascist. Anna Khachiyan is a Nazi.
No, I just can't in my Soviet because I have so much Soviet shame and pride. I can't bring myself to type my name into the Twitter search bar. That's so embarrassing.
Do you have Google alerts?
No,
Anna.
That's so embarrassing. I will talk about what I have in a second, but that's the first thing I've never done. I've never name searched myself. The second thing that I've never done is I've never, ever in my life Googled the ex-girlfriend or current girlfriend of somebody that I'm interested in. That's a fact.
Hey, what are you doing for the next 13 hours? Don't do anything healthy. Don't be productive. Give in to your desire. Research me obsessively. Find out everything you can about me. You know you wanna dig for me relentlessly. Using every available search tool in all forms of social media.
This is a piece of advice that I will give the ladies. We were sort of talking about this after the show at the after party drinks. There's only 2 options of what will happen if you Google a woman that a man that you're interested in has been involved with or is currently involved with. A, she's going to be way hotter than you, which is going to make you feel really shitty. Or B, she's going to be a lot uglier than you and have much whacker style than you, which is going to make you feel equally shitty. So it's a no-win situation and you may as well not do it.
Yeah, but I'm going to. I have a third. I have not only my Insta and my Finsta, I have a third secret Insta for lurking exes of myself and my Google. I look at not Google on Instagram. I look at not only Adam's exes, but exes of boyfriends I've long broken up with. I'm still checking up on them, and I don't even really care anymore. But it just is
I
just the rhythms of lurking.
I literally pull people's driving records and their criminal records on LexisNexis. I still have a login from my old job.
Records.
Yeah. Well, once you see it, you'll never turn back.
Sure. Wait, exes or
No. I just
exes
peek around. I don't even look up exes. I look up
exes.
People that I'm going to work for, the people that have wronged me.
Well, yeah, duh. I mean, every time I interview for a job, which I don't do anymore because I'm a podcaster now, I of course Google.
You're no longer eligible for employment.
You're employed by DogLink.
Yeah. But every time, of course, I had an interview in the past or I met a new coworker, I completely obsessively Googled them and made fun of how whack they were.
Well, I'm on IMDb Pro like a fiend.
What can you find on IMDb Pro?
You can look at people's representation. There's something called a star meter that tracks where
how
people
Jewish they are.
Cloud.
Yeah. tracks their Jew levels. No, like tracks their clout.
Okay.
And you like, yeah, I'll spend hours just looking up like D-listers such as myself and like my contemporaries to find out like where they are on the star meter and who their reps are and what they're working on and like.
Well, that makes sense because it's like a professional.
Yeah, it's very professional what I do online all the time.
I just like finding all my family's DUIs.
That's fun.
That's fun, yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Mug shots.
I do look up like back when I was on Facebook, I did look up like, you know, people from my past that like, you know, all the kind of white trash people I grew up with in New Jersey.
You have some good ones.
I have really good ones. Yeah, they like got into like whatever the Facebook, the digital equivalent of fist fights. Some of them served time in prison or had meth addictions. They had like impressive rap sheets, like that sort of thing is always interesting. But like generally speaking, it's really hard. It's
the wine.
We're imbibing again. I mean, now there's like Instagram stories, which like if you can always look at who's like peeping your stories, and I'm sure I'm the first on certain people's stories. Like I'm thirst.
It doesn't
watching.
show up in chronological order.
No, but
it shows up in order of like algorithmic interest to the person whose story it is.
It's not like your frequent flyers to your account.
No, it's like these are the people that you probably want to know or looking at your story. Like Adam's always usually like
at the top
first on mine because it's like he's the one I'm interested in. Like it algorithmically knows.
Wait, Dasha, you're interested in your boyfriend of a year at this point of in his social media presence.
I probably look at his Instagram the most.
Okay,
still just because I don't know.
That's sweet. I like.
It's very romantic.
It's romantic, yeah. I feel like there are certain people whose stories I look at obsessively who are just like hot and, you know, like Weed Slut or somebody. Like I'm probably at the top of the stories, which is creepy because I'm like a woman and not a lesbian. But
you
she's
wouldn't
like
be
so
at the
hot.
top of her stories.
Why? Because she has like 100,000 followers.
Unless she is looking at your Instagram.
Enough
to know. It's not like,
So it's creepy and self-selecting or mutually self-selecting.
It is. It's like the algorithm it takes into consideration like how much you look at their Instagram and like someone like that I've DM'd with recently, even if I don't really care about them, will show up at the top sometimes because it's like Instagram things. Oh God. This is so boring.
What?
Oh yeah.
What's
the
boring?
Instagram algorithm.
Oh, I'm like really interested in it.
You want to know? Yeah, I guess a lot of people don't know. I guess
I don't know. I have no. I have no
that's
clue.
That's how it works.
Yeah,
for you and everyone else out there.
Well, I mean, I could log in and we could see how many DUIs your old ex-boyfriend had.
I mean, my old ex-boyfriend is a fag and a loser and has no DUIs.
That could be interesting.
I do sometimes hate. I hate read his Twitter sometimes because he's just such a snot. I can't help myself.
Sure.
I get a kick out of it.
I'm on fairly good terms with most of my exes, I guess.
Me
There's
too.
no
Same.
There's no men I can think of. Michael Manning. I'll look at his Twitter like very occasionally, but
Are you on good terms with him?
no.
This is this fat fuck.
I mean,
Sorry, I'm not supposed to say that. You can delete it or
What'd
edit
you
it.
say?
I called him a
It's
fat
okay.
fuck.
I mean, objectively.
Yeah. Why not?
I think he knows his place in the cosmos.
In the cosmos, yeah. Listen,
It's a big place.
This is seduction community tactics. It's called nagging.
Hello, yeah. It works.
It works, yeah.
Well, this is Red Scare After Dark. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're up late. The rosé is flowing.
We're more depressed than ever. This is our sex and relationship
Literally
show.
heartbroken.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Well,
You're not fine, Meg.
I'm just exhausted and depressed.
I am mystery. Hi. I'm gonna give you a hug, but don't expect much of a great conversation. Your friend and I like each other. Are you all right with that?
This is sweet. Oh, thank you.
Say hi, be nice. We're surrounded by love tonight.
Let the game begin.
I was reminiscing about net art the other day.
Oh yeah.
And that's when you know you're mentally ill.
Yeah.
Well, I was just like, wow, like I was so right about net art.
What was your prognosis?
But it was like bankrupt and like doomed and like that none of those people would go on, you know?
Yeah, Dasha Brad's in the other room, so keep it
He's
down.
not like Brad's not really like a net artist. He's like doing like
Patreon lotteries.
institutional critique, you know?
He's not even supposed to call it a lottery. He got in trouble with Patreon.
Why is
What?
that?
Because it's like a gambling thing.
Oh.
So he has to change the
What's
copy.
he going to call it?
He calls it something else on the Patreon, but then the Instagram, he can say lottery.
I see.
Oh.
The great Patreon grift. So yeah, net art. Net art was like doomed to fail. There was all the. I mean, this is completely off topic of what we're supposed to be talking about today, but we're drunk and depressed, and really, this is an
This is
impromptu.
our
This is
show.
Literally our lifeline.
Yeah. What was I going to say about net art?
Net art.
Well, people, all these like kind of troubadours of the digital, like whatever, 4 or 5 years ago, were like going around trumpeting about how like the internet was going to be a democratic place where art would finally be democratized. And it's like, first of all, the internet is never going to be a democratic place because it's owned by
Wake up,
private
losers.
It's like owned by private for-profit tech firms. Secondly, art is never going to be a democratic medium because it's a medium of taste.
Making
Yeah,
luxury commodities.
so we're dealing with like a kind of synergy that's like doubly undemocratic, and it was very vindicating to realize that all of the main kind of like net and post-net stars went on to make physical objects for the gallery space because like what else were they going to do? Like a man's got to eat.
I do really like the new Petra Cartwright stuff she's been doing. Her like
I haven't
floral
seen it yet, but
still
I'll check it
lives.
out. I mean, but like, okay, but that's like net inspired,
But it's an object, yeah.
like traditional painting, which like, no shame in the game. I like painting. I don't think it's dead. It's like literally fine.
My
but,
fave.
Yeah.
Hannah's a warrior for the abstract paintings out here.
So speaking of the net, should we?
Oh yeah.
Should
So there's
we-
been some news
There's been news.
besides our bleak personal lives.
Yeah.
Someone else has fallen on hard times. Friend of the pod, Alex Jones, from our sister show InfoWars, has been taken off the air.
Yeah.
I guess he's been like
Well, he's been removed by Facebook, YouTube, what else?
Spotify, iTunes. He's been deplatformed.
He's basically
is what it's
been-
called, I guess.
Deplatformed by Apple and by Google, which owns YouTube, correct?
Yeah.
Or-
Well, basically all the heavy hitters, they had to unite so they don't look like they're not ethically one's above another.
Well, crucially,
Twitter.
Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat have not come on board with this. I have a funny story to tell about this. The ladies already know about, but I'm going to repeat it here because it's miraculous. So a couple months back, the speakers on my laptop crapped out because I tried to connect it accidentally. The laptop accidentally converted to an external Bluetooth speaker, which like fucked up the internal whatever.
Yeah. Welcome to Tech Talk.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Anna's giving a TED talk at Steinhardt next week on
On
use your
computer
laptop.
speaker.
So, basically, the speakers being down was a big blow for me because it means that I
Can't leave.
I can't leave. I can't podcast remotely, so therefore I cannot leave the city. And to the point where Meg was reminding
Escape
me,
from New York.
Yeah, I'm like Nicolas Cage.
Escape from your podcast.
Escape from Red Scare. To the point where like Meg was reminding me like every other day, like you have to make a Genius Bar appointment, you have to get this fixed. And I really loathe going.
I almost walked you there.
Yeah, I really like
On a
loathe.
He took Fran's harness.
Crawling down the street. But speaking of leashes, it was also really damaging to my psyche because I couldn't watch porn. I haven't watched porn in like months, which was like horrifying.
They don't even work if you plug headphones in?
No.
Oh.
And
well,
I went online. I read some tutorials.
You need the audio.
Yeah, you need the audio.
If I'm fapping, I gotta hear the
too.
sweet sounds.
Why can't you just use your phone?
Well, I
prefer to use my phone, honestly. I like it a little more low res. I don't like to see the depraved images too crisply.
You want the laptop propped up on your
like
tits?
it on my gut and my fupa. I like it a little bit just like larger.
It's nice small.
I tried it.
And then you can
dabbled
wear
in it.
headphones and hear all the whimpering and obscenities that you want.
Pathetic.
I wonder who
slavish
watches porn on an iPad. Like a Fire tablet.
That's pimp.
It is. It's an alpha move. I saw a guy watching porn on an iPad on the 7 train once. It was cool.
Oh, well, when I used to work at the
Respect.
library, the guys would watch porn there all the time. And then they would even
fellas.
print it out and like take printed pornography out, like stills, back into the stacks and like jerk one off.
Yep.
That is so cool.
That's what the library is for. It's for homeless men to like shower and watch porn.
Masturbate.
Well, they'd be like getting USB cables up, like loading up their Boost mobile phone with like
Oh, sick.
porn. I don't know.
like,
I'm all
cool.
about it. It's fine. My boss was not. She was calling the cops like every week on these dudes.
That's what bureaucrat, like Mark-ass bureaucrat snitches always do. But it's a testament to like the resilience of human ingenuity to go up in the library and like download a bunch of porn
find
onto
a
your
way to-
Boost mobile phone. Today, in preparation for this episode, I decided to watch some InfoWars, and I think I was actually on Dasha's Twitter timeline trying to watch that tweet, the video in that tweet where it was like, "See you in hell, Alex Jones,"
Where he makes fun of my vocal fry.
yeah. And miraculously, like a gift from God, like Jesus resurrected, the speaker started working because Alex Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, the conspiracy theories are true. Alex Jones brought my speakers back to life.
When he said, Dasha Connectors, whatever her name is. Everything free.
She wants everything free, and it's like, well, yeah, why not?
You bitch. We would actually get along, Alex Jones. Like if we hung out,
Yeah,
we
you would,
probably
yeah.
would have a great time. He seems like he is an alcoholic. He seems like he's got a pill problem and is mentally ill, like a lot of other people I know. And I would, if he wants to grab lunch,
Like at Cafe Lou, let's go.
Cafe Lou, Alex Jones, open invite.
Wait.
Go on Red Scare, baby.
Where does Alex Jones live?
Austin, Texas.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was ambushed by them when I was doing independent film promotion.
That's why he was
at
having a
South by
brain aneurysm
Southwest.
about millennial hipsters from South by Southwest, because that's his
Psycho.
major reference point.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly just assumed they dispatched reporters out for that because that would be like a total cash cow.
InfoWars is he's in a Linklater movie. I believe he has a cameo in Slacker.
Really?
Because
That's
he was
cute.
like, he used to be like a shock jock Austin personality.
I mean, but this is the thing.
you're
I-
right.
And now he is, then he became this like conservative
political conspiracy
firebrand.
theorist. Yeah, but I have a soft spot for Alex Jones. I think he's
so funny.
He's funny and endearing.
God.
And I'll say this.
Let him fucking blow some steam
spin his
off.
wheels
Like,
about
what-
frogs being gay, which, by the way, is not. This is the
Well,
nature.
the people are upset about the Sandy Hook thing.
Yeah, which is a little bit extreme, but I agree. But that's not why he got. But here's the thing: it's like Alex Jones. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. He's infinitely funnier than
John Oliver.
or Trevor Noah. And if you watch InfoWars or consume InfoWars as satire and not as news
God,
or political
it's good.
commentary, it's great. He really has a finger on the
He's
pulse.
a real entertainer.
He's an entertainer.
He's a shock jock turned political correspondent.
Yeah, and he's a ham and an attention whore, and that's what he does well. He does it like the man, is wearing his navy suits and his sunglasses, looking like a silverback that's about to have like a massive heart attack. Like he has a very strong persona, unlike these like wilting, stoop-shouldered liberal cucks that run the like Comedy Central.
Of course.
Well, he didn't peel his ass cheeks apart like Gavin McInnes did.
Yeah, he was like
A true champion.
goatsy or whatever.
He's not brave enough.
Pulled his dick out and threw it around in circles.
But basically, I think what the idea was that Google and Apple originally, I think, were the ones to no platform him. And then Facebook followed suit because they're a bunch of sniveling cucks. They're like tail between their legs, which is ironic because, Facebook refuses to deplatform Holocaust deniers, which is what I got banned for.
Sandy Hook deniers are fair game, I guess.
Well, it's crazy because, finally Pinterest actually, they deplatformed him too, or his like main.
Wait, he's on Pinterest?
No,
Pinterest.
but that's like the epicenter of these like MAGA men conspiracy
What are you
people.
talking about?
Wait, that's so gay.
No, it's amazing. If you log on, it's funny because they're like wives are on the iPad like planning their weddings, and then they're alternatively like they get it
Solo
after
wedding
dark
registry.
and are looking at like prepper materials and like
Sick.
That's so
it's
incredible.
a vast environment of MAGA men in Pinterest.
Wow, what a cruel trick of late capitalism that these like MRA manly men are on the most like bitch-made platform ever.
Yeah, it's definitely based in this like Midwestern
I don't
kind of
find
traditional
Pinterest
value.
to be very user friendly, to be honest.
It's not. It's very like cumbersome and overwhelming and repetitious.
I've always used it for work for like production prep for like images
For like mood boarding,
yeah, it's like fucking mood boarding.
Mood board. But yeah, basically, what was I gonna say about Alex Jones? Yeah, so Apple removed all InfoWars content with the exception, I think, of one.
Was there
podcast.
something that like was there a reason why
So
this
there
happened?
wasn't exactly a reason. They removed all but one of his podcasts, I think, but they did keep the download link. Both Apple and Google did keep a link to the downloading of the InfoWars app, which made it skyrocket in popularity. It was like the number one trending app.
Honestly, like all of this just makes me feel like maybe he's onto something.
What do you mean about the about?
Well, like if these shameless libs are so eager to deplatform him, like maybe there's a reason. Like, and I never thought that before until like I was like, oh, now he's being silenced.
Yeah, I mean he's an easy scapegoat because he's so like out there and like in your face.
It's like that Instagram I posted that said when they say they're your allies, it's all lies, feminist men are predators, and then Instagram took it down. I was like, whoa, like I was kind of posting this ironically, but now it really makes me feel like there's some kind of like Meninist conspiracy.
Yeah. Maybe we're gonna join QAnon now. But no, so Apple said that InfoWars violated its community standards, and they also said that they do not tolerate hate speech. They also said, we believe in representing a wide range of views so long as people are respectful to those with differing opinions. But the loophole is that people can still download the app from Apple and Google, though they can't directly stream the content through Apple or Google services.
So these communities will find a way.
I can just get the InfoWars app and watch it. Yeah, the content.
It's not a real ban. It's a soft ban. It's like a ceremonial ban.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's like more liberal virtue signaling. And so like according to TechCrunch, so multiple tech platforms have moved to close the door or limit Jones' reach to their platforms in recent weeks, including Google, which shuttered his YouTube channel, and Facebook, which removed a series of videos and banned Jones' personal account for 30 days, as well as issuing the InfoWars page with a warning strike. Spotify, Pinterest, LinkedIn, MailChimp, and others have also taken action.
MailChimp?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I'm LinkedIn. I'm sure
How
Alex
are you going to
Jones
build an
needs
empire
LinkedIn.
without MailChimp on your side?
And Twitter and Instagram, along with Snapchat, who nobody cares about, but Twitter and Instagram are the two big outliers.
The failing Snapchat app.
Yeah, they have not taken action, despite the fact that they habitually suspend me or Dasha for, clowning on male feminist
For saying like
allies.
Zionist cunt.
Yeah.
Zionist isn't even a slur. Sure, maybe pair it with cunt. You could make an argument, but
slur.
still, neither of those words are slurs. Somehow you call someone on Twitter a Zionist cunt and it's not okay anymore.
I mean, I get
Run the media.
I get like a slap on the wrist every time I tweet a suicide joke or a Holocaust joke, which are like, that's my Venn diagram, that's my
That's-
wheelhouse. And
Yeah,
also
what
like,
Anna does best.
yeah, and also like, I get a hood pass for the Holocaust joke.
You do. Absolutely. It's a completely okay for a Jew to do.
Yeah, as a marginal
Holocaust
Jew, I get
humor.
a hood pass. And then I get a hood pass for the fucking suicide jokes as a clinical depressive.
As a suicidal person. You might, who's to say it's a joke?
Yeah, I'm not mocking, but every time, with the Holocaust stuff, because I said that Mark Zuckerberg's family should be thrown in the ovens, which I stand by. That was an infraction, but for the suicide stuff, I'll get this sort of like saccharine kind of like.
Oh yeah, if you
email.
were thinking about hurting yourself, like please.
My question is like, do individual users that hate you, like
Yes.
Kumar Salehi, report you?
I
Is
think
that how
so.
it works? Like Alex Jones.
You're blowing out the speakers.
Yeah.
I can't look at the thing because I have this Pinterest
sorry.
page pulled up. So this is my favorite MAGA man.
These are cute
Conspiracy
cards games.
Yeah, I like the
This
Google.
is
I love the
indecipherable. This is
Google.
indecipherable to me.
It's indecipherable,
honestly.
but
I don't.
I came across this lunatic
Ooh,
through.
he loves Piper Parabo. That's sweet.
Yeah,
He wants her to be his Nazi bride, I guess.
I came across him through the gay poker player that I used to work for because he's like a poker guy, but his Pinterest page.
The Fourth
is
Way.
Fourth Way. He's also into healthy vegetables and
Photography, classic.
marketing. Namaste. Wait, here we have essential oils and Slack.
Slack, which
Wow.
I think Slack has been in the news lately. I don't know for what. I think they were like valued at some exorbitant sum.
They
or
should be
something.
What is
shut down.
Yeah, they should be shut down. It's like a really gay messaging app for people with jobs to message about job stuff.
That's what I was just talking about earlier.
It's like GChat for jobs.
I thought GChat was GChat for
you're
jobs.
right.
It's just like a place where your boss can harass you at 3 a.m. and make you stressed out.
I hate
terrible.
Slack is a gross name.
No
for
one
a
should
digital
have a
platform.
job.
Yeah.
It sounds like flesh slapping during the pornographic act.
Slash.
But yeah, Jack Dorsey, who's the founder of Twitter and like a huge fag who goes by simply @Jack on Twitter,
Bitch.
tweeted, we didn't suspend Alex Jones or InfoWars yesterday. We know that it's hard for many, but the reason is simple. He hasn't violated our rules. We'll enforce if he does, and we'll continue to promote a healthy conversational environment by ensuring tweets aren't artificially amplified, which is hilarious because there's nothing healthy or conversational about Twitter. It's just a bunch of people unhealthily yelling at each other.
It's the sickest. It's like broken. I've been on Twitter for 7 years.
Yeah.
It's
Since-
had nothing but
When did you
detriment.
join?
When on my 20th birthday, my first tweet was the NBA slam dunk contest was on my 20th birthday, and I tweeted slam drunk contest.
Wait, what year was that?
It was 7 years ago.
Okay.
So 2011.
Something like that. Yeah, I joined in 2009.
That's when I joined.
Yeah. But which is like, Jack Dorsey goes on to say that like Alex Jones basically didn't violate any community guidelines, and it's like very kind of nebulous and shadowy what the community guidelines for any of these digital platforms are and how they overlap and whatever.
It's like the Russia collusion thing. It's like Trump can say Russia should hack Hillary's emails in public.
Yeah.
And somehow that's not collusion.
Right.
He can even ask Trump how he should deal with her in public.
Trump tweeted red wave yesterday
that was cute.
because
He's subtweeting.
He went to our live show and he liked it
yeah.
so much that he thinks that there's a red wave of fandom for our podcast.
Yeah, I'd be really happy
Him
if
and Barron were backstage.
Yeah, I'd be really happy if Barron Trump was a fan of our podcast. That would really make my day.
He's too retarded.
He's too retarded to understand.
Very severe autism due to the old sperm his father deposited inside Melania. And now he can't clap right.
Oh my god! What?
Don't take that out, Meg.
Is that ableist? But obviously, like Twitter and Instagram have not scrambled to restrict Alex Jones because, unlike Apple or Google, they have no indirect avenue to make money off of him because they can't, keep his app on their platform while restricting the content. Which is like, it's bullshit. I wish just Twitter would be honest about why they're not banning Alex Jones, which is that he brings them clicks and money, which is okay. That's how it works.
Yeah.
He's an entertainer. He's not a politician. He has no obligation to be a moral role model for anybody.
I saw someone posting about how this woman who is a writer on Bob's Burgers.
What's that? It's like a show?
It's like a cartoon.
Animation.
She was like, since Twitter won't take off Alex Jones on December 16th or whatever, we're going to have a day of silence on Twitter because it's like the 4th anniversary of Sandy Hook or something, and like retweet if you'll join me. And it was like, I was like, I can't believe I'm reading this. Like, a writer for Bob's Burgers is going to try to, remember when they tried to, there was like all of the women are going to get off Twitter.
Wait, was that a thing?
Yeah, like Post Me Too. It was like where it was like Rose McGowan, I think, called for like a day of silence on Twitter, and I actually tried not to do it, and it was like,
you tried not to tweet.
You're like,
yeah, I was like, okay,
in
solidarity, I guess I'll like
don't tweet and trot off to the wing.
Yeah, like
pay your membership dues at the wing instead. And I couldn't, like,
you couldn't last.
I just, then especially when you tell someone not to do something, it's even harder.
I know, it like makes you compulsively attracted to doing it. All the women should get off of Twitter. It would be way funnier.
Everyone should get off Twitter, like, realistically. Like,
No. I need you guys to stay on there, okay? This is all my lifeblood.
But like net neutrality, not, or passing rather, like the end, like it was a real bummer because actually, like, now I'm just online.
Wait, why? What does that have to do with net neutrality?
Well, I wish that like people would make it harder for me to access you want
platforms to charge for for their service. I agree. I think that would really be like a bottleneck.
It's a fair price, to like indulge in.
You should pay for the indignity of being on Twitter, and definitely
for searching
for
my own name.
Facebook.
I should get charged a bunch of money every time I type my own name into Google and or Twitter.
If you still have Facebook, you deserve to be price gouged. You fucking cuck.
You retard.
Sorry, our homosexual minstrel Steven is texting me.
Okay. What's he up to?
I think he's at a bar. He's at Cell Rose right now.
With the ladies, yeah. Shout out to Cell Rose, which is a
Oisteria.
One of the
restaurant friend of the pod.
Yeah.
But there's also those. We have some bartender friends of the pod.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Ivan, hello.
Hi, Ivan. This is like all I've ever wanted from living in New York. I was like, when I moved to New York like 10 years ago, I was like, all I want is to do something with my life that allows me to live at subsistence level and get free drinks at bars. That's like how I know I've made it.
I think we've made it.
We've made it. Only this year I'm like 46 years old and have only now started getting free drinks at bars. But there's this,
8 years in New York.
Yeah. Wait, 10. I'm almost at 10. I think
8.
This August is my
Good God.
anniversary.
Yeah, I didn't get any free drinks when I worked at the abortion clinic.
You don't have to live like this. Do you know that? You guys could move to LA.
No. I lived in LA for a little
You
bit.
didn't like it. I know.
It's too new agey.
It's
I'm not gonna
so
put
gross here, honestly.
In New York, I hate New York. I want to move to
hate it
Europe
here. I saw
because
9 rats last night.
Look at
Yeah,
the room
I was
you're
10
in.
minutes.
Look at the room you're in.
I see
Yeah.
it. I see it vividly.
This is my bedroom. It's
No, New
fucking
York
stupid.
sucks. I want to move to a Nordic country where they
killing
have
me.
welfare and a really hot, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Viking man will see
We should
me as
fucking
a
move to
novelty.
Berlin, honestly.
Everyone's a fucking school shooter in these New York Nordic countries. I swear, I was literally just there. You're walking around and you're in constant fear you're going to be murdered.
That's fine with me. We should all move to Berlin and do the podcast
so
from
afraid
there.
that someone's gonna push me on to the railroad
Yeah.
tracks. I know everyone's thinking it.
I was out of town when this happened, but what was the deal with the Bedford stop? The guy that yelled.
I don't know. Nobody.
Oh,
the
someone
shooter.
they thought there was an active. They thought there was an active shooter, but there wasn't. But it's people like stampeded
freaking
out
out.
and got a little taste of what it's like to
Get
have some real drama in your life.
stampeded in Prime Williamsburg.
Oh God, that's how I'm gonna go out. I
I know,
know it. I'm
just
gonna
get
die
pushed
in
into
some
the platform.
despicable, stupid way, like just stomped on by people in a fake active shooter situation. I know that's gonna happen to me. I hate it here.
Stomped on by French people.
Yeah, and
yeah, but people who aren't even
Australians.
from here, not even real New Yorkers.
New Yorkers. I just want to move to Europe so a man with a shaved head and a bomber jacket will ethnically oppress me in like a weird sex play game. Why not? It seems fun. And then I can get an abortion and some therapy for free.
I think you should move to the Midwest.
No, hell no.
I do love the Midwest. I think that might be good advice for me. I could really see myself thriving in Wisconsin or Ohio.
yeah.
Ohio has great tax breaks for production.
Maybe I'll go on to. Maybe I should move to Ohio and just be a fucking real indie darling.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to hack it in this fucking stupid
city,
industry in this horrible city. It sucks so bad. Maybe Adam and I move to Israel.
Yeah, you should. I'll visit you guys and like, you know, I love
Detonate
those
the
Israeli
vest.
men.
and finally detonate my.
Well, speaking of detonating the vest, should we? How are we on time?
I think we're pretty good.
We're pretty good.
We've got a lot to say tonight.
We can move on to Osama bin Laden, who's also been in the news. But before
Anna's
we do,
boyfriend.
my boyfriend, there's this idea that a lot of liberals who are like pro banning Alex Jones are like, well, this isn't censorship because people, you know, the conservatives are
Wrong.
crying this is censorship.
It is censorship.
Well, no, you're right because like in their mind, the rationale they give, they're like, this is not censorship because we're not talking about the government restricting First Amendment or like free speech rights. We're talking about private companies who are electing to ban another private company effectively from their
Guess
use
what,
of their
sweetie? It's all the same.
Right. Well, it's like you know, like Evgeny Morozov had that great line that like tech firms now effectively run Western politics. So like if the tech firms have such a massive influence in government processes as they do, then it is sort of censorship because if the government is effectively in the pocket in bed with
It is. Of
tech,
course it is. It's a 100% censorship.
But you know,
It's like they won't like Twitter won't ban Trump,
well, they can't because he's the prez, right?
but he's not tweeting from the POTUS.
Yeah, which I love. It's like
He's
such a
tweeting
boss
from
move.
at real Donald Trump. Which
Well,
is
he doesn't
so
tweet.
sick.
He has someone type it. He just talks.
Oh, that's
Because he
great.
can't read. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it. I think it's fine. Well, no, but why are there all the misspellings then?
I
He's
don't
like
know.
he's like
That's
friend
what
of
his
the pod,
preference is.
Paris Hines, who dictates all of his tweets into the phone.
That's why they're spelled.
That's why they're spelled weird.
I think
I'm pretty sure he told me this.
he did.
Yeah.
because I've just watched him type, and he's not great at that.
No,
either.
I can imagine. Yeah.
From what I
It's fine, we can-
understand, from what I understand, Trump tells someone how to
dictates his
tweet it.
tweets?
I wish that was my job. I
He's
wish
like,
I was.
spell it wrong.
Well, I'm not going to do it for you.
What do you guys think he meant by red wave?
Like a wave of conservatism.
I see.
Yeah,
Crashing.
he's talking. It was just the primary. They're talking about flipping states like blue or red and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not,
but
not
I know.
Melania's. Anyway, but I'm very happy because the liberals are only shooting themselves in the foot by banning or like soft banning Alex Jones because they're only driving more traffic his way.
Yeah.
In their like pathetic bid to like virtue signal or issue ceremonial
Sure.
gestures. And
It makes me, like I said, he's probably onto something.
He's probably onto
If the
something, yeah.
libs don't want him to be heard, maybe I want to hear what he has to say.
yeah, exactly. And I have
Log on Pinterest.
Apparently he doesn't like my vocal fry.
I think he'll come around to it.
He's gonna come around.
We should get him on the pod.
I want him on the pod. Yeah.
He'd be
I'll
great.
get him.
He'd
I'll
be
get
a-
him to come to this
he'd be a
fucking bedroom
good
of
old
mine.
guest. Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Osama bin Laden, Anna's boyfriend.
My boyfriend.
is trending.
He's trending. There is an article in The Guardian where his mother gave the first interview, I think, ever. Osama bin Laden, he's like a street style icon. I mean, like
The beard, the robe, the turban,
the army fatigue jacket.
I almost bought an army fatigue jacket
And what stopped
at
you?
Urban Outfitters because I was so sad. Just because I literally I'm so depressed I couldn't wait in line. It was just like I want anything like
stolen
will
it.
this really alleviate any psychic pain to buy this sand colored army jacket? No.
with like photographer pockets, like a Nat Geo jacket.
I just hung it back up and walked out.
You should have stole it.
Hey, you should have stolen it.
What the hell is wrong with you? You're really depressed.
I've been caught shoplifting at Urban Outfitters before, so I don't do that there anymore.
Wow, I've never been caught shoplifting, and I did a lot of shoplifting in my glory days. Very pleased.
I
with
was like
that.
19 when I got caught there, but still, it put me off.
from Urban.
The
yeah.
experience was bad.
I only did it in high school at the
they
mall.
said, why did you do it? And I said, I thought it was too expensive. I thought it was actually
mean, you're not
worthless.
wrong. I mean,
I thought it was
is.
worth $0. And
Army fatigues for all.
Yeah.
good God, because I'm a Marxist.
I'm a jihadist. I'm a
Anna's
sexual
a
jihadist.
jihadist.
So anyway, his mother was like in this article in The Guardian looking like, jihadi Jackie Stallone. Like her face is like
Yeah, I'm
perma
looking at her.
frozen. She looks like she's like constipated from eating too many dates. So Osama bin Laden, you guys.
Got too many
You
pomegranates.
guys, Osama is back in the news. He's
back in the news.
trending.
I also have, I really have every hood pass that you could possibly have, except for like the Black and Latino hood pass, because I am Middle Eastern too, by virtue of being Armenian. So I can say whatever the
Yes.
fuck I want about.
Here we go.
Middle Eastern
Anna,
people.
Yep.
Anyway, so
Calling this
what about Osama?
episode Hood Pass.
So Osama bin Laden's family is obviously one of the wealthiest families in Saudi Arabia. They have a construction empire that is responsible for much of Saudi Arabia's physical infrastructure.
Interesting.
They're very respected. They're friends with the royal family.
Friends of the pod.
Friends of the pod. Obviously, their fortunes changed a little bit after 9/11.
Friend of the pod, Osama bin Laden.
So basically,
Sorry.
No,
Please
it's fine.
go on.
No, it's fine. It's just a very interesting thing that this article comes out now, and I was wondering why. And basically, in the first paragraph, we are told the reason why. And the Guardian talks about how Saudi Arabia's new leadership, spearheaded by the ambitious 32-year-old millennial heir to the throne, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, has agreed to my request to speak to the family. As one of the country's most influential families, their movements and engagements remain closely monitored. Osama's legacy is grave a blight on the kingdom as it is on his family, and senior officials believe that by allowing the bin Ladens to tell their story, they can demonstrate that an outcast, not an agent, was responsible for 9/11.
Interesting.
So basically, this is a giant PR.
What's the play here?
It's a giant press release for
17 years later.
Yeah, it's a giant press release for the Saudi royal family, masquerading as a special interest piece about the bin Ladens. And I was like,
Primaries, baby.
yeah, the Saudi primaries.
Apparently they're coming up.
No, U.S. primaries.
But Mohammed bin Salman, who's this 32-year-old like hype beast millennial princeling, who's effectively in charge of the country because his dad has like really like worms in his brain, however you say that, worms and brains. I'm drunk in my cell brain. But I mean, like, he's described obviously as like this ambitious reformer, and I'm always like, what is he ambitious about? Like planting flattering PR leads in like the NYT and WAPO about how women can women can drive now, and no schoolgirls have been burned alive in flaming buildings because like the Wahhabis couldn't let them out because they were not wearing headscarves.
This is Anna's stand-up routine.
No, but the Saudis, it's like like that guy, that kind of tanky researcher guy, Adam Johnson, always jokes these people are like on like an 1800-year reform plan. Like it's like what the kind of pink pussy hat viral story that women were granted the right to drive, which I think they can technically.
Now they're rapping.
They're rapping and driving.
Yeah, but I think like to be a woman, to drive in Saudi Arabia as a woman, you can now technically get a license, right? But you have to have permission of your like husband or father or whoever, like of your guardian, effectively. So it's a moot point because none of those men are,
No one gets to drive.
Yeah. But all the major.
I don't know how to drive, by the way, in solidarity with
the women of Saudi Arabia.
It's not because I'm childish and dysfunctional.
It's because you're a feminist.
I'm political. Yeah. I won't drive a car until every woman in Saudi Arabia.
You're like Lena Dunham. She won't get married until gay people can get married.
Yeah, that's like woof, Lena. I should have come to our live show. Maybe you could have found a man.
Maybe there were men there.
There were men there, yeah. No hot ones.
Not to brag, but there were men at our live show.
Yeah. I mean,
there were hot ones. They were just gay.
There were a couple of hot ones that were gay. I think friend of the pod, Nomi Fry's husband is hot, but he's taken. He is a husband. But what? He's hot. He's hot.
It's true. We all agree.
We love an Israeli man, but with the exception of the gays and the Israelis, there was really no hot men there. Your boyfriends are cute. I'll say that, but other than that,
Thanks.
Anyway, so
Nick was there.
Yeah,
Nick Mullen, cutie.
I tweeted something about a narcissistic person. Yeah,
Nick Mullen.
Yeah, I tweeted something about like narcissistic personalities, and some guy was like, "So are you and Nick Mullen a thing now?" I was like, "That's funny. Fucking dark."
Back to Osama.
Back to my real
topic,
crush,
Osama bin Laden.
But like all major liberal publications in the United States basically run a cottage industry about writing flattering puff pieces about the Saudis, which drives me nuts because it's so popular among liberals to be anti-Israel, because, anti-Zionist, whatever. But Saudi Arabia, which as a government is just as bad, if not worse than Israel, always gets a pass because they're Muslim and brown and not like Israelis are kind of white and belong to like kind of this Western
Control the media.
Yeah, and control the media. But
Soda streams and hummus.
No, but Israelis are easier to knock on because they're an oppressive regime, but they also happen to be kind of like white and English speaking for the most part to some extent, westernized, whereas we can't really, nobody in the liberal media will go up against Saudi Arabia because that's kind of seen as racist, I guess. They all criticize kind of conservative, like traditionalist conservative women in the United States to no end, but when it comes to women literally being forced to wear like head to toe like burqa outfits, they don't care. They care, but they can't say anything because it's like, this is a different cultural. Yeah.
I will tell you what, I read this book one time. It was about this. It was like Sex in the City in Riyadh. And under all those niqabs are a lot of designer bags and designer clothes. Is there an
episode of Sex in the City?
In Saudi Arabia?
Oh, no, it's in the movie. It's in the second movie.
Oh.
Sex in the City 2, the movie. They go to...
they
Dubai,
go to the Emirates or something?
They go to the Emirates. They go to either Dubai or like Abu Dhabi or something. And then there's a part where the women take off their fabulous burqas to reveal even more fabulous lingerie.
Oh my God.
They're wearing like agent provocateur.
And there's lots of like camel toe jokes and stuff too.
Right.
No, this was straight up Saudi
I thought you were going to say
Arabia.
camel jockey jokes.
Camel toe.
Right, let's stop there.
But there's, I read a story back in, you guys remember Jane magazine?
Yes.
The cool like alt magazine. I read
was
a
a
story
sassy girl.
Yeah, the Sassy and Jane. There was a story in Jane magazine about Paul McCartney's ex-wife, one-legged ex-wife, Heather. What's her name? Heather.
We know. One leg.
Whatever. Who used to be
Heather one leg. The woman with one leg.
She used to be a
all know
high-paid
what we're talking
escort in the Gulf, and there were stories about how she would entertain. Kind of throw like lesbian orgies for like various princelings. So yeah, those people get down. But Osama's legacy may be a blight on the kingdom, but the kingdom of Saudi Arabia is a blight on the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. I mean, here's a 2-state solution for you. Bomb Saudi Arabia off the map, resettle the Palestinians on Saudi Arabian land, and just like leave the Israelis where they are. That could work. Or you
Very interesting.
Or you can just deport all the Israelis to Florida where all the Jews live anyway. So either way.
Or literally anywhere. Almost
anywhere, yeah.
else. Like the Israelis can go
to Syracuse, New York, or Providence, Rhode Island.
Like South Africa or like Middle Africa. Like they can go like
anywhere, yeah.
Kind of anywhere.
They're a nomadic people.
Yeah, and like what Jerusalem, whatever. It's fake news.
Yeah.
Like
but the article goes on to say how there's like an official government minder in the room at all times during the interview, but that she never interferes in or tries to steer the conversation, which is like, why would she? Because the Bin Ladens are only basically repeating pre-vetted like PR talking points. Like here's Osama's brother Hassan. I am very proud of him in the sense that he was my oldest brother. He taught me a lot, but I don't think I'm proud of him as a man. He reached superstardom on a global stage and it was all for nothing. Which makes him sound like Kelly Clarkson or like Lance Bass or something. But of course the brother can't disavow Osama entirely, because if he did, he would come off as like ruthless and disingenuous. But he has to find a happy medium between like
very diplomatic.
Yeah, it's like between gesturing to some kind of like symbolic fraternal pride and denouncing his crimes for the benefit of like Western readers. And this is the mother, Alia. He was a very good child until he met some people who pretty much brainwashed him in his early 20s. You can call it a cult. They got money for their cause. I would always tell him to stay away from them, and he would never admit to me what he was doing because he loved me so, so much. And of course, she can't help but like minimize her son's responsibility and therefore her family's responsibility and therefore the state's responsibility. And I love how she has to like throw in that histrionic like Alex Portnoy's mom thing. He loved me so much
because he was such a good son. He just couldn't tell me about the 9/11, the plot of the.
She sounds like
I didn't know. How could I know? How could I know? Oy vey.
Wait, I want to hear more about the wedding, though.
we'll get there.
Osama's been in the news.
Yeah.
In a huge way.
Yeah.
Because he got married.
No, wait, his son.
No, the
wait,
son.
Dasha,
His youngest married the 9/11 hijacker.
His son got married.
The daughter of the 9/11 hijacker. I want to see the pics. Where are they in Vogue?
Maybe they'll put them in Vogue. Yeah. But it's funny because Osama has spent his entire, like, if you really want to psychoanalyze this, this man has spent his entire life trying to distance himself from his crazy helicopter smother only in the guise, in literally the guise of a misguided but not entirely unfounded jihad against the West. But all she can do is be like, Sammy, he was such a good boy. At his bar mitzvah, he read from the Talmud and it was beautiful.
So this is how terrorism started.
Yeah.
It's a smother.
Yeah,
it's rooted in a smother.
But like,
give your kids some space. Y'all.
Yeah, she should have just like let him masturbate to like Swedish porn starlets while he
Whatever
was like,
he wanted.
Put the condoms in the cookie jar. Tell him it's always stocked and leave him be.
So his youngest son Hamza, is 29, is marrying the daughter.
His only son, I think.
Maybe I don't.
I read it was his only son from his third and favorite wife. Was the little blurb I read?
Wow,
But
a favorite.
I would really love
if-
to be the third and favorite wife of somebody.
God, I know.
That's Melania for
That's
Trump?
when you really know. Well, I think
I don't know favorite, but third wife.
third. Yeah, I'm definitely think I'm third wife material.
Yeah,
I have highlights now. Everybody.
Dasha's highlights look great.
Thank you.
So yeah, they're getting married, and the son has also vowed to avenge the death of his father, which I don't blame him. I mean, like, I would want to avenge my dad's death if my dad was killed in a completely like extra legal, extrajudicial raid on his compound by a foreign power. I mean, I guess he, it was tit for tat as revenge. He did do 9/11.
Wait,
But like, his son doesn't care about that.
Yeah, his son doesn't care about that because he believes in the father's ideals.
do you guys remember where you were when the news broke?
Yeah, I was in Spanish class.
Oh,
I was in school. Yeah, my dad, I was on the West Coast. So my dad woke me up and he said, well, wake up, it's World War III or whatever. And then I had to go to school. I was in 4th grade. I was like really confused.
Oh, no, not
9/11.
Not 9/11.
Oh.
I was in algebra class.
What were you talking about?
Wait,
Bin Laden was killed.
Oh, I don't fucking remember.
Really? I absolutely remember where I was. I was in a bar.
Oh.
And the whole bar, like the atmosphere completely changed and they had news on everywhere.
Were they excited?
Weird.
Yeah, I was in Ohio.
Weird bar.
Yeah,
People were they were like pumped.
I was at,
It was disturbing.
I was in Zanku Chicken in LA when Kim Jong-il died.
Huh. Okay.
And I remember hearing it on the news and then looking at this little kid and then he threw up on the floor.
Okay. But
unrelated, but that was like, I do have a memory of that, but not Osama bin Laden. I think I was just like,
I really don't. Yeah.
I don't know why I remember that.
I feel like I was probably like giving a dry hand job to somebody in like
I was going to say
like a DIY
masturbating.
space somewhere. Yeah. I was like masturbating to Osama bin Laden. But like this article is like a game of hot potato where everybody's like trying to offset the responsibility for Osama's crimes.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
They're just like, ooh,
They're like, I love him, but of course, no.
But my question is that like, does anybody in the family actually believe, like, they all claim that they didn't know what he was doing when he was taking those like secretive trips to like Afghanistan and the Sudan? Like, Do you really believe they, like, what did they think he was doing? Like banging out Russian hookers, or like, taking an extra long dump, like running a telecom company? Like, what did they think he was doing?
Starting a podcast.
He was podcasting,
They didn't have
sort of.
podcasts back then.
Yeah, they didn't. They had radio show. He could have beamed out a radio show from his cave, and
He's a cam girl.
Yeah. But, at some point he became like,
So you think they're all in on it? They knew they're trying to distance themselves in a
I don't think they're
way.
in on it to the degree that they're not jihadis because they're capitalists. They don't give a shit about global jihad, but they probably knew that he was doing some weird thing and like, kind of like stoking anti-Western sentiment. They just didn't think it would amount to anything because he was like a fail son, as the Chapo people say, and so they kind of turned a blind eye.
Sure.
But all the bigger issue, I think, is like there's this push to kind of normalize and how would you say it? Like put like whitewash the crimes of Saudi Arabia at large, which is like spread Wahhabism, which is like, an ultra conservative, ultra doctrinal, ultra literal interpretation of Islam that is probably like the ideological ground zero for terrorism. And I think, the United States actively funded the spread of Wahhabism in their bid to combat the rise of communism and pan-Arabism in the Middle East.
And then after the fall of the Soviet Union, like explicitly made the Middle East like the new global threat.
Right.
That the military industrial complex could like sustainably be bolstered to combat.
With their like various like private contracts. But I don't know. I mean,
this is that's like public record. There's like memos from like Dick Cheney being like the Middle East, like
it's our
the Soviet Union's done. Like
we need a new,
now
we
like
need a new enemy.
But like what we've spent years during the Cold War bolstering, is now our new enemy.
Yeah, exactly. And so like this piece, it ends on a very optimistic note. It cites this British counterintelligence guy who says, who talks about how Saudi Arabia's allies are optimistic. And they say that, if Salman doesn't break through, there will be many more Osamas. I'm not sure they'll be able to shake the curse, which is a little kind of the negative, like the note of caution. But overall, it's basically, like I said, a press release for the Saudi government, which, like, at the end of the day, taking into account all this like stuff, all this well-documented stuff, is Alex Jones really wrong? Like, he may be wrong about the details, but he's not wrong about the general scope of like...
He's wrong about Sandy Hook.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's wrong. He's a sensationalizer and he's an entertainer and he's like gratuitously wrong.
Yeah, he is an entertainer. Like, that is what...
Yeah. I mean, that's all. Like, the conspiracy theories are like the weird alternate universe Black Mirror of a reality that's equally true, but much more depressing.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I do. I really do.
Yeah, I think so too. So I
think it's like much worse than this idea that there's like some shadowy like organization that's like orchestrating everything.
Yeah.
Is like, it's probably even worse than that.
Yeah, because it's not a shadowy, it's not like a monolithic like daddy state. It's a bunch of like toxic individual actors working in tandem to like sow chaos and ruin. Anyway, I guess
is that the episode?
I think that's all I have to say.
Maybe. Everyone look out for Anna's talk on flat earthers on brebar.com.
Yeah.
It's being released next week.
I just regret that I forgot to take my top off at the live show. So maybe next time.
I've got a lot of regrets. If any casting agents are listening or anyone wants to like, give me a great role or whatever. I'm not only a podcaster, I'm also a professional actress. And I will definitely see you all in hell.
Anyway, we'll see you in hell. So, folks.